Most unforgettable swimsuit moments in film history. From Marilyn Monroe to today's darling Blake Lively, the big screen has seen a wide range of swimwear designs. We've seen the modest one-piece evolve into the casual bikini top worn with a pair of Daisy Dukes around town throughout the years. That's true. Bikinis aren't simply for lazing by the pool or surfing the waves. You'll discover that Hollywood has provided us with a few extra opportunities to wear a stunning bikini that you may not have considered. Of course, the beach experience will always be a classic. It's impossible to remember every single movie bathing suit scene, so we compiled a list of some of the greatest. How to Marry a Millionaire. Marilyn Monroe, 1953. Marilyn Monroe has enthralled audiences since her debut. She's become the American ideal girl to whom we all aspire. She featured as Paula Debevez in How to Marry a Millionaire in 1953, opposite Betty Grable and Lauren Bacall. The trio embarks on the mission of locating 3 millionaires for marriage, utilizing any and all assets available to them. Monroe wears a stunning red bikini, ushering in a new age of on-screen swimsuits. Easy to Love. Esther Williams, 1953. Esther Williams produced the performance of a lifetime as the lead in Easy to Love in 1953. Williams, who plays Julie Hallerton, is a swimming star, thus the bikini is an essential need in this film. Williams deftly executes several moments of exquisite water ballet performances. This musical is, of course, about a crazy love affair. Easy to Love is one of several films in which Williams appears wearing a bikini and having fun in the sun. From Here to Eternity. Deborah Kerr, 1953. Deborah Kerr portrays Karen Holmes in this historical drama set just before Pearl Harbor. From Here to Eternity features a series of intertwined love triangles at a U.S. Army camp. The plot explores a range of power relations and positions in a number of situations. Our protagonist, Robert E. Lee Pruitt, asks for a transfer and ends up on the beaches of Hawaii. This is why Kerr is wearing a bikini in the heat, with cool waves in the distance. Menina, the Girl in the Bikini. Brigitte Bardot, 1958. Brigitte Bardot portrays the title character, Menina, the Girl in the Bikini. As a result, Bardot may be seen in a beautiful two-piece swimsuit. In essence, Girl in the Bikini from 1958 is a treasure hunting film that toys with the idea of what constitutes a genuine treasure. Gerard Morer, the main character, goes hunting for lost fortune at sea, but instead encounters Menina. Gerard dabbles in love and romance, finally locating the treasure, while his treasure hunting accomplice, Eric, flees and becomes caught in a storm. Suddenly Last Summer. Elizabeth Taylor, 1959. Elizabeth Taylor portrays Catherine Holly in Suddenly Last Summer from 1959. A young lady whose mental health starts to worsen after witnessing her cousin's death. The plot chronicles her family's efforts to discover what truly occurred that day in order to help Catherine regain her sanity. Taylor captivates as the disturbed young lady, offering a remarkable performance with considerable depth and passion. She was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Actress for her outstanding performance in the film. Dr. No. Ursula Andress, 1962. Ursula Andress, a Swiss-German actress, portrays Honey Ryder, a local shell diver who sells Jamaican seashells to Miami traders in the 1962 James Bond film Dr. No. Andress was cast in the part barely 2 weeks before production began after executives spotted a picture of her shot by her then-husband, John Derrick. Andress acquired a spray tan to make her seem more Jamaican for the part, and her lines were dubbed over by another voice actor owing to her heavy Swiss-German accent. Honey's famous white bikini was made from a British Army webbing belt. Annette Funicello's Beach Party, 1963. A beach party isn't complete without a few bikinis and swimsuits. In the 1963 film Beach Party, Annette Funicello plays Dolores. The first of 5 segments, the film follows Professor Robert Orville Sutwell, an anthropology specialist, as he conducts a study of adolescent habits. Throughout the investigation, the emphasis of these activities shifts and is replaced with music and motorbikes. The major theme of the film is teens being teenagers and having fun on the beach and in the sun. 1 Million Years BC by Raquel Welch, 1966. Tumac, portrayed by John Richardson, existed before civilization. Over the majority of this ancient film, Raquel Welch wears a rawhide-made swimsuit-esque item. Tumac's target of desire, Loana, is quickly made out to be a gorgeous lady in a world of discovery. Tumac is in love with Loana, but they come from quite different tribes. Loana is significantly gentler and more seaside. Tumac must battle for Loana against another caveman in order to earn her affection. Her beauty seemed to be worth the trouble. Bedazzled by Raquel Welch, 1967. Raquel Welch portrays Lillian Lust in the 1967 film Bedazzled. The plot revolves on Stanley Moon, portrayed by Dudley Moore, who strikes a pact with the devil, Peter Cook, to give him 7 wishes. Stanley must come up with one of his remaining years of life in return for each desire. Stanley falls in love with Lillian, who helps him accept his situation. This character was groundbreaking for its day. It challenged established gender norms by featuring a strong and independent female protagonist who held her own against Peter Cook's devil. Raquel Welch's performance in this classic comedy is outstanding. Don't Make Waves, Sharon Tate, 1967. The sun, culture, surf, palms, and positive sentiments. Southern California seemed to have everything. Sharon Tate exemplifies the seaside and hedonistic Cali vibe in Don't Make Waves from 1967, relishing life by the water. Tate, who plays Malibu, embraces the bikini costume, as do many other cast members. The story's fundamental conflict is romance. 2 romances, to be specific. Carlo finds himself becoming one with the bright shore while also becoming caught up in a love tale. The Lovely Ride, Jacqueline Bisset, 1968. Vicky Cartwright is played by Jacqueline Bisset in this 1968 film, The Sweet Ride. Vicky is a fiery and rebellious young lady trying to forge her own path in life against societal influences. Her strong personality enabled her to pursue a profession as an artist at a period when it was deemed unusual for women to do so. Moreover, she's not afraid to question gender conventions and cultural expectations. She finally finds happiness via real love and friendship with Tony Franciosa, who plays the protagonist. Bisset's performance exemplifies a spirit of feminine liberation that's still felt today. Pam Grier, aka Coffy, 1973. Pam Grier donned an iconic white bikini as a female vigilante in Coffy in 1973. Flower child Coffy Coffin, an emergency department nurse, seeks vengeance against those responsible for her sister's addiction and the city's rising crime rate. Grier's performance was praised, and she went on to be renowned as a major femme fatale star in the blaxploitation subgenre for the rest of the decade. Star Wars actress Carrie Fisher, 1977. Carrie Fisher portrays Princess Leia in her bikini piece, which is perhaps one of the most legendary ensembles of all time. The style has now become one of the most recognized costumes in cinema history, not just Star Wars history. Fisher is definitely beautiful, and she also pulls off acrobatics while wearing the swimsuit. According to rumor, the outfit was inspired by Fisher's concerns that the costuming in prior films was monotonous. As a consequence, they attempted to approach Leia in a more feminine and provocative manner. Sunburn, Farrah Fawcett, 1979. Farrah Fawcett must be included on any list of famous bombshell actresses. In Sunburn, Fawcett plays Ellie Morgan, a young lady who's trapped in an unfortunate marriage. Her husband's philandering and lack of attention annoy and unsatisfy her. Farrah Fawcett's subtle portrayal shows the nuances of handling life, even when presented with adverse circumstances, as she fights for freedom. Her effort to make sense of her inner turmoil is incredibly realistic, making her performance one of the most unforgettable in film history. Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Phoebe Cates, 1982. This one harkens back to the glorious days of the early 1980s, featuring the iconic Linda Barrett cherry red bikini. The design generated a jaw-dropping moment for Fast Times at Ridgemont High in 1982 and wonderfully corresponds with the movie's Southern California rock and roll scene vibes. In this film, high school kids are having fun on their carefree journeys and finding love everywhere. Most significantly, this narrative was inspired by true stories. Valley Girl, Elizabeth Daily, Deborah Foreman, and Heidi Holliker, 1983. This classic beach moment is shared by Elizabeth Daily, Deborah Foreman, and Heidi Holliker, or as we know them in Valley Girl, Lauren, Julie, and Stacy. Stacy and Randy, the two major characters in the film, have a typical collision of subcultures, played by Nicolas Cage. Their pals don't understand how they could ever work out since he's a city punk and she's a valley lady. They learn to resist their critical friends in order to be together in the end, but not without many moments of tension, love, and of course, life in Cali. GoldenEye, Izabella Scorupco, 1995. Natalia Simonova, played by Izabella Scorupco in GoldenEye, had an outstanding presence. She played a computer programmer and analyst who is initially ignorant of her participation in James Bond operation until it's revealed later. Her character is strong-willed, resilient, and very clever, all of which Izabella Scorupco displayed with ease and confidence in her portrayal. She was also able to display humorous timing and romantic connection with co-star Pierce Brosnan, making her performance genuinely unforgettable. Nevertheless, as Natalia Simonova, she proved to be an excellent contribution to the picture, enthralling spectators with her acting skills and composure. Baywatch actress Pamela Anderson, 1995. To live Baywatch's life. A cast of folks spend their days living their best lives on the beaches of California. This group of lifeguards is in charge of keeping the sandy beaches safe by battling crime and getting caught up in some strange escapades. Pamela Anderson, one of the stars, made our list of the most famous swimwear moments, but we'd want to include every single cast member on this list. Baywatch introduced the world to a new respect for sunbathing, and of course, the bathing suit on TV. From Dusk to Dawn, Salma Hayek. Salma Hayek portrays a vampire called Santanico Pandemonium in the 1996 film From Dusk to Dawn. She's beguiling and menacing presence who draws the two bank robbers, Seth and Richard, into her Mexican bar. Her character's debut is extremely spectacular as she dances on top of a platform covered in a giant snake, displaying her hypnotic movements. She adds an exotic and enticing edge to the film, heightening the tension for spectators. Wild Things, Denise Richards, 1998. Everyone enjoys a good conspiracy film. When Ray Duquette, or as we know him, Kevin Bacon, learns of a serious tale circulating involving two high school students and a guidance counselor, he investigates more. Kelly Van Ryan, one of the high school students in question, is played by Denise Richards. She wears her bikini while conducting a vehicle wash for her guidance counselor, which becomes a pivotal story point and a memorable moment. The Opposite of Sex, starring Christina Ricci, 1998. The Opposite of Sex from 1998 created quite a stir upon its original publication. Christina Ricci portrays our main character, Dee Dee Truitt, in the film. She has an unrivaled attitude and approach. Truitt is a fiery young woman who infiltrates her half-brother's life and finally seduces his lover. She eventually becomes pregnant, causing a bizarre amount of amusement as circumstances unravel to show who the genuine father may be. This bizarre story and comedy showcases Ricci's powerful acting.